we're going to be making, and it's going to be easy peasy because there's no die cutting. I've done all that for you. We're just going to have to cut the panels and stamp and put it together. And I never finished this one. I'm still deciding what to put inside. So I hope that this is gonna, it's a little bit wonky. I'm afraid if I move it, it will be even wonkier. We'll see. We'll see if it helps. Okay, so let's get started making our card. These come from, these are not Poinsettia Petals dies, because this paper, it screamed pine cones, and I knew that I had pine cones in the dies for the Peaceful Boughs set. The dies match these. There's your pine cones. They have dies for that, and they have little dies for the leafy looking things. And it has a nice saying too. May the spirit of peace gently fill your heart and home in this most wonderful time of the year. So I think that's great. That's a great bundle. So I hope you don't mind that I snuck that in. But since I made all this stuff for you, it's in your packet. It's in your little plastic bag. This is pretty much all I've got left in here. These are for our next project. These beads. They are for our next project, which we'll be doing. Hi, Monica. Glad you could join us too. So you're going to need some regular Whisper White and a thick Whisper White. This for your card base. If you don't have the thick, you can use the regular. No, and you know what? You can even use white, because this, I originally did this in white. This is white here. The original one is in white. And then when I went to do the sentiment, I'm like, something doesn't look right. The sentiment was just too bright. It was just like, boom! So I did it in Very Vanilla, and it went really well with these colors. More muted colors. So this is actually a white card base with a Very Vanilla sentiment. Shh, don't tell anyone. It's our secret. But so you can use white if you want, if you don't have the vanilla. Okay, and then this is pretty much what I've got left in my goodie bag, left over. Stuff that you could use to make cards of your own choosing. We will need this red for our candles. We will need this for our candles, so don't use that. But I think just about after tonight, everything else is, you know, for the taking. These we didn't use in the class kit, but they're beautiful. You could put that with something behind it. And I think it would look good with that red. If you have some extra red at home, that would make a gorgeous card. So you have some stuff to play with. Let's get with tonight and see what we need tonight. We're going to need some green, and we're going to need some soft suede, and we're going to need our pine cone paper, beautiful pine cone paper. We'll need our ribbon. Mine's already cut. Some of it's cut. I think we need like 5.5 inches, I think, of ribbon. And then, let's see, what else do we need? Oh, I think that's all the panels. So let's go ahead and cut our panels. And then we can do our stamping, and then we'll put it together. All right, so the measurements are in the other room. So let me go get them. I'll be right back. All right, so pine cone, thick Whisper White card base. We can handle that. We don't even need measurements for that. 8.5 by 5.5. So that's a half a sheet of paper. Cut in half. I didn't bring my scoring board either. We'll get that later when we get ready to score. So I'll set that aside. What am I doing with this? I'm gonna need this again. All right, for our inside sentiment, regular very vanilla is going to be 3 7/8. 3 7/8, guys. This is for the inside. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. That's going to be for our inside. Okay, so that will be stamping on. So put it in our stamping pile. We don't need that. We don't need that. Garden green. We are going to do 2 panels out of this. One is going to be 4 1/8. I did my nails too. Can you see? I actually did a pretty good job. I've watched my nail tech do it so many times, and she taught me a trick of how to use the brush so you don't get globs of nail polish on your nails, which has come in handy with this pandemic. So, okay, so we got 4 1/8 for our garden green. 4 1/8. You notice I took my scoring tool, the scoring thing off of here because I was forever using the wrong one, grabbing the scoring one and not the blade, so I took it off. I like my scoring tool better anyway. So let's see, this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. 5 3/8. All right, so that is the front panel. The inside panel is going to be 4, 4, and what else? 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. So let's see, get my trash out of the way here. So we have a 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. We have a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 for the front. The soft suede, which is going to go behind our DSP, it is 4 3/4, 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So let's do the 3 3/4 first. I always give measurements across and then up. So the first measurement will always be the across, and the second measurement will always be this way, the width and the height. So the width is 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. That's real close, isn't it? And then the width, the height is 4 3/4, just an inch more. 4 3/4. So that's going to go on our front. 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Paper, beautiful paper. And I don't know that it matters how you cut that. It's going to look good. Some have a definite grain, so to speak, where it looks a certain way, but this is just so hodgepodge that you can cut it any way you want. And we want 3 5/8. 3 and there's half. 5/8. 3 5/8. Got to be real careful with your DSP because once it's cut, it's cut. 5 1/8. There's no going and grabbing another one out of the drawer because it's precious. Okay, so we got 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and that's going to go on the front, of this. And how can that be? How can that be? Because it's not It's not, that's not the right size. I'm looking at the soft suede measurements instead of the DSP. The DSP is 3 5/8. So 3 and there's a half. So 3 5/8. Okay, I got that right. And 4 5/8. That's where I went wrong. 3 5/8. I got that right. Thank goodness. 3 5/8. 4 5/8. Let's see how it goes now. Oh yeah, that's much better. A little bit of heart attack there. Like, oh no, what did I do? All right, so that's gonna go on the front of our card. And so we'll put all that stuff. There's a squeaky sound. My shirt is rubbing against this knob on the desk and it's making this squeaky sound. I hope you can't hear it. Now from your, so that's all the cutting. So we can put our handy dandy Stampin' Up! Trimmer away and grab this for stamping. How's everybody doing? The last comment I see is Monica, Pat saying hello, Monica. So I hope that's the last comment you guys have made, because that's the last one I see. And that's fine. You know, that's fine. So I give you 2 of these. I always give you 2 of these. Now these are from the Lovely Labels Punch, which I've been showing you every one of the videos. And this time this is the only time I used this one with the squarey edge. See, it has the square edge. So this is 1 inch, very vanilla, 1 inch by 2 3/8 inch. And I just stuck it in there and punched. I found it better if you turn it over, like push it through and then punch it from here. And this punch is nice. I don't have a lot of strength in my hands like I used to. I think I might be developing arthritis. So if I can find a punch that, you know, punches easily, I really notice it right away. I'm like, oh, nice. Nice change. All right, so this is a portrait card, so we'll be stamping this way. Let's get out our Stamparatus. I keep it in it's a computer desk, and I keep it in the drawer where the computer goes. And I try not to slam the door too much because then it makes everything rock and roll. Okay, I do like that punch, Pat. And you know, I actually ordered it by mistake. I wasn't going to get it. And then I had a customer wanted one. And I ordered one for her. And then I ordered another one for her. So I ended up ordering 2 for her. And she didn't need 2, obviously. So I kept it. And when I started doing this class, I needed something with a long sentiment, you know, a label that was long for some of these cards. Like, well, let me get one if I can. This beautiful Merry Christmas, it needed a long sentiment label, and I didn't have one, and I've got a lot of stamps. Believe me, I got a lot of dies. And then the thought came to me, why don't I make one with that label punch? And I'm so glad I did, because I ended up using it on almost every card in this class. So I would definitely say, yes, get it. You can do 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch. And then you have the 2, you can have the flat edge or the more filigree edge. So definitely worth it, I think. Okay, so yeah, I used the flat side for this one, Pat, and the rounded side for all the other ones. So definitely worth it. That kind of looks like the ticket punch type thing, doesn't it? Alright, I'm going to be switching from just rubber to photopolymer, so I'm going to need this. And I'm going to put this on here, even though this is plastic. And if you don't have one of these deluxe foam mats, I think it's $6, $5 or $6. You should order one. You will love it. What can I say? Okay, so we're going to use garden green. We will need our plastic here in a minute well, we probably should use our plastic for all of this, huh? So, for the sentiments, now, I showed you this sentiment, for unto us, it's all sentiments, it's all Christmas, so it's more of the religious, and this one, let's see, I've used this one already, sharing with you the glory, wonder, and miracle of this holy season. That would be a good one for a landscape card, but this is not a landscape card. So, I keep these. I keep them, and then when I'm done with the stamp set, I put them back on. I don't know if I'm done using the stamp set, I put it back on. I don't know. I'm missing one. Where did I must have gotten off with somebody else's. Okay, so I need to pick what goes with thank you for making this a wonderful season. It could just be Merry Christmas. Here's one. May your heart be lifted in praise this Christmas for the wonderful gift of Jesus and the joy he brings to our lives. Hey, I think I'll use that one. And it's got a really pretty font. It's kind of small, but it's also, I think it'll fill it up. It will look right. So throw that in there, save it for later. So if you like sentiments and you're looking for sentiments, this is a good one for unto us. And I'm going to, down at the bottom of my 4x6 window sheet, I got two pieces of window sheet. I wonder how that happened. Okay, I digress. Okay, so garden green, and normally I put something underneath there, but I'm not going to. Oh, you know what? This one, this one just happens to be a rubber one. I just noticed that. I'm going to have to clean that off. Oops. I had an oops moment on camera. I can't edit it out. Okay, that's what these lives are for, right? To show you what real people do behind the camera. When no one's looking, except someone's looking. So, all right, let me try that again. It really makes a difference. If you have rubber stamps, you don't need the mat. If you have photopolymer stamps, then you want to use the mat for sure. And now it's upside down. I think I can still use it. No, I'd have to move my stamp, wouldn't I? Oh goodness, guys. And then I'm just about to get my magnets to beat up against each other. They like to do that too. Sometimes they kiss and sometimes they whack each other. Oh goodness. I don't think these have to be quite so strong. Please forgive me, guys, for being so not... It's not upside down this time, and it's on the plastic. Good. So I'll put this away. I don't need that. Yeah, I'll need it when I do my other stamping. Okay, so this is going to let me get this exactly straight and centered. So I'm going to stick my head in right now, guys. Sorry. Hope it's not too bad. And there we go. And look, I got a green thumbprint right there. Oh my goodness. That means I gotta turn it around and redo it. Alright, I think get my head back in there again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, those are beautiful sentiments, Lynn. Okay, let's see if I can get this in here. This is supposed to be an easy card, right? It is. It's going to go real quick here, just a minute. It would go a lot faster if I wasn't such a sloppy stamper. Alright, and then that could have been a little lower, but I left room for a message, a little note, you know, because a lot of times in Christmas time is the time you want to catch up with people, tell them all the news, what you've been up to this year. And at one time my family did a family newsletter when the kids were smaller, and we would send out a family newsletter with our Christmas cards, letting everyone know what we'd been up to, where we'd moved that year, because my husband was in the military. So we moved a lot. But he's retired now, thankfully, so, but we're still moving. And let's see, now we're going to stamp "Thank you for making this season a wonderful season," and I'm going to need my foam mat back again, this time for real. And thank you for making this a wonderful season. Where are you? Thank you. Have I not used that one yet? If I have, oh yeah I have, because I used it on that card. It just got cleaned up so well. You can see the red ink leaves your photopolymer pink, but that's okay, it's still good. It still works fine. It's even prettier because it's pink. We all like pink. I do anyway. And you, thank you. Some of you might be getting this card for Christmas because I do appreciate you guys so much. And we'll stamp that with our green. Yay. Now this is too small to slide under there, so I'm going to put a little snail on the back. Actually, this is kind of sticky here where I put snail before. I'm going to use that same snail because I don't want to get it too sticky. Slide that under. This is reminiscent of when we used to have our Stampin-a-jigs, if some of you were around stamping during the Stampin-a-jig craze. In goes the head, out goes the head. I loved my Stampin-a-jig, and I was so sorry when they discontinued selling it. So, but they came out with the Stamparatus, which was nice, which I love. But I missed being able to use that plastic to get perfect placement. That seemed to be my catchphrase, perfect placement, on my videos back then. And I'm just going to lightly touch that and get that just a little bit darker, not a lot. Yay! Okay, so that's our stamping. You may have finished before me if you're stamping along with me. And if you're watching this later, you still might have finished before me. Okay, so we have our little ticket. Thank you for making this a wonderful season. And I can deal with this later. Oops, I'll put that away though. Get my stamp off. I don't want to lose it, because I will. Now this is your extra. You can use it for something else. Clean this off so I don't get ink everywhere. Put it over there. Get ink off my hands. Let me get my scoring tool. I'll be right back. Alrighty, how are we doing on time? We're getting close. I wanted to keep it at a half an hour, but we did have a little bit of, you know, technical difficulties. So this 4 1/4 is our score. And put that away. Get my bone folder out. I have this little thing here. I get all my goodies in, so because I go from one room to the next when I do my lives. I have to go to the bedroom because my neighbor's AC is blowing like crazy. It's right outside my craft room door. So here's that. So let's get busy with it. These two green, the bigger one goes on the front. One is just slightly 1/8 of an inch smaller, and the bigger one is going on the front. So we'll go ahead and get our Stampin' seal and put that on. Oops, got a little crazy there. Got it on that. Make sure it's opening in the right way. And then let's put our DSP on our soft suede. I like this Stampin' seal. I don't find myself using as much, and it holds well. We'll go ahead and put our sentiment on that smaller piece of garden green. And let's just go ahead and put it on the inside while we got it in our hands. That's so pretty. Such a beautiful saying too. Helps bring out the meaning of Christmas. The real meaning of Christmas. That's going to go on the front. And it is oh, for a minute there I thought I had put that on without the ribbon. I'm like, no, please no. It looks like 1 3/8 from the bottom. So I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to mark 1 3/8 on the back on both sides. Mark that one so I know where that is. So now I know the bottom of my ribbon is going to be on the, touch that mark there. And I'm going to put a little bit of snail, about 1 inch, maybe a little more over here. Now we need a 5 1/2 inch piece of this green ribbon, which is Old Olive, and what's the other? Pretty Peacock, 5 1/2 inches. It's a reversible ribbon. This is the Old Olive side, and that's the Pretty Peacock side. We're going to use the Old Olive side, and we're going to put it across the front. You can tell the Old Olive is more shiny and more green, whereas this is more blue. The Peacock side is more blue. Okay, I'll find that mark and push my ribbon in. Now it's ready to go on the front. I'm twisting. I'm not checking, I'm twisting when we had the old fast fuse, remember we had to check, but this we twist. It's just so sticky that when you pull it up, if you don't twist, it makes this string of adhesive go whoosh. So that's why I twist. Okay, getting there, very close. Now, let's get our goodies out. Pretty much everything in here, what's left, we're going to use except those two beautiful beaded pearls. They're for our handles. And let's see. So I did you guys a big favor. Thank you. You're welcome. But I didn't do you a complete favor. The favor I did you was I put adhesive backing on the back of these with the adhesive sheets. The thing I didn't do for you is poke out all of these little things in the pine cones. So you can love me and hate me at the same time. Oh, goodness. But you can imagine what it would have been like for me to have to poke all of those out of every... And I figured you wouldn't mind too much. If you don't have a pokey tool, mine is what they call the take your pick tool. I'm using the pokey end of it, the pointed end, to be more, you know, fancy way of saying it, pokey tool. But I'm not really a fancy person, so it's a pokey tool. And my trash is way over there. So we got one down, now we're going to do the other. This one, I'm wondering if we would do better. Well, I was thinking we might do better to take off the... But I've done that before, and what happens is the little pieces end up sticking to the back of your pine cone or whatever you're working on, so probably not a good idea. I need my little tool that does this. Oh goodness, I had no idea. Let me pokey poke a little bit here. See how it goes. So this is the part where you hate me, but we're getting to the part where you love me here in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to take that off now that I've poked all those and see just what's going to happen. Ooh, most of them stayed on. Good. Most of them stayed on. There's just a few stragglers that just had to make, you know, a stand. Alright, that's going to go on this little thing. Make sure you have it on the right side. It's not symmetrical. And then see, this is where you love me, because it sticks on there and you don't have to glue it, because gluing that would be a nightmare. And this one, so I'm going to take the off of this one too, maybe. This one wouldn't have been as hard to glue, but those adhesive sheets are really nice for things like this. There's our pine cones. Now, if you have the Winkostella, which mine's in the other room, of course. Hold on. Actually, it's in this room. Oh, goodness. I don't know what to do when I'm prepared. See, that's so foreign. So I'm just going to take my Winkostella brush and brush that, give it a little bit of pearly look. You can give it 2 coats if you like it really, really pearly. I'm just going to do the 1 coat. It looks like I could use to get some more of this. This must be the one I've used a lot today on my Halloween projects. I'm not going to get too fancy with it. All right. Those are going to go, those little pieces are everywhere now. This one's going to go on top, right there. And let's go ahead and put this. This came also from the same, this label comes with that beautiful Boughs dies as well. Let me close my ink up. How about that? I'm just going to tell you, sometimes I think I close my ink and it looks closed, but if it doesn't snap like that, this was open for like a couple of days. I'm surprised it didn't dry out. Thankfully it didn't, because I needed it for this card. So I'm just using a little bit of glue, probably more than I should have. Hope it doesn't ooze. And that's just going to go in the center of that. And let's get back to this while that dries. We have 1 small, I guess we should do these first. 1 small and 1 medium. These are from that same beautiful Boughs dies. And some of these I didn't get out for you, so you'll have to poke them out as well. Now, what did I use to put this on? I think I might have used glue dots, but I think I'm going to use glue. And anywhere where there's a lot of room, just put some glue there, tiny dots of glue. It's going to go down here. So this leaf is just kind of right at the edge of your soft suede to kind of give you an idea where you want to put that. Hold it down and let it dry. This one's going to go over here to this edge of the soft suede. And now my fingers are sticky. And I'm not seeing a lot of comments. Y'all are allowed to comment. Now, maybe you are commenting and I'm not seeing them. But just so you know, I just want to make sure you're still awake. Huh? That you haven't gone to sleep. Let's see. How did I put these on? I think I did put those on with glue dots. So get my glue dots out, and I'm just going to put some on the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm putting them down here at the bottom because I don't want it to be too flat. So there's that one. Same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is, you know, I'm thinking that I should have, I'm twisting this off here. Whoops. It's going to be covered up, so it doesn't matter. I should have put this in place and then put my cones in because I don't want them to be hidden by this when I put it in. Okay, there we go. This is going to go on with mini dimensionals. And I'm only going to put them along the bottom. So I've taken it and I've turned it face down. I'll get some that's already started here. And putting it along the bottom here. Yay! And I might put one here. I hope that doesn't show. And then there. I'm going to remove it and put it down a little bit. Alright, so I'll take these off. So I've got gluey fingers now. Everything wants to stick to my fingers. Okay, those are all sticky. So now I'm going to just put this in the center above that ribbon. Get rid of all this icky stuff. Are we almost done? I think so. So I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. These are the metallic pearls. They come in silver and gold. There's a little hole there. You're just going to stick it on that hole and kind of hope that it kind of goes through. They'll stay. I don't know how or why, but somehow they stay. I'll try to push them through so that they'll stay in there. So, guys, that's our card for tonight. Now we have a beautiful saying for the inside. I'll have to make one just for this one card too here, now that I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm glad you guys joined me, and hope you'll be excited about the next Create Kit, which will be available either Friday or Monday. Alright, I'm going to let you go because my husband, I promised him it would only be 30 minutes. I don't even know how long it's been. But I've enjoyed having you guys here, and hope that you'll join me for the next one. Bye.